Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive into the world of AI with us. It's crazy how fast things are moving, and we're here to break it all down for you, straight from today's AI for the People daily news. Buckle up, because we've got some seriously cool stuff to dig into. From startups shaking things up, to Meta making some bold moves.
That's why it's gonna be a wild ride.
Oh, it definitely is. First up, let's talk about DeepSeek. This startup just dropped their new AI model, R1, and it's causing a major buzz in the industry. Can you imagine? A model that can go head-to-head with the giants like OpenAI,
Yeah.
but at a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, that's a total game changer. Cost has always been this huge barrier for smaller companies and developers wanting to get into AI. Developing these models takes massive resources. So for DeepSeek to pull this off, it's a really big deal.
It's huge. And speaking of big deals,
Uh,
did you see what happened to NVIDIA's stock after DeepSeek's announcement?
oh yeah, it took a dip, which is pretty telling, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. NVIDIA is the king of GPUs,
Yeah.
the processors that basically fuel AI. If DeepSeek's model doesn't need the most expensive, top-of-the-line hardware, it could completely shake up the whole AI landscape.
I mean, think about it. What if you don't need those super expensive GPUs anymore to build powerful AI?
Exactly. You could open up the field to a whole new wave of innovators, smaller companies, independent developers.
Exactly. It's all about accessibility, right? And it's not just DeepSeek. SandboxAQ is also making moves in that direction.
Oh, right. They're the ones focusing on those large quantitative models, the LQMs.
Yep. And they're teaming up with Google Cloud to make their tech more accessible.
So we're seeing a real push towards democratizing AI,
Yeah.
making it available to a wider range of players.
It's a pretty exciting time to be watching all of this unfold.
It really is. Now, speaking of big players,
Yeah.
let's talk about Meta. They've just announced plans for this massive data center.
Massive.
Massive. We're talking 1.3 million GPUs. 1.3 million.
Okay, for anyone out there who might not be totally familiar with GPUs, they're like the brains of AI, basically. The processors that can handle those crazy amounts of data these models need.
So Meta's basically amassing this insane amount of processing power. It's a clear signal that they're serious about becoming a leader in AI infrastructure.
It makes you wonder what they've got planned.
Right. I mean, think about the impact this could have on everything. From our experiences on social media
Mm.
to the development of things like VR and AR.
It's mind-blowing.
Totally mind-blowing. Okay, now for something a little more speculative, remember all those rumors about VO2?
That hypothetical AI tool for video generation?
Yep, the one that's supposed to be even more powerful than anything we've seen before, with higher resolution and better scene understanding.
Yeah, that would be a game changer for content creation.
Imagine how much easier and more sophisticated video creation could become.
For everyone, right? From marketers to educators, even just everyday people.
Exactly. And it's not just VO2. We're seeing this whole wave of video AI tools emerging.
Like Pika 2.1 and Lumery 2.
They're pushing the boundaries of realism and context awareness. It's really incredible to see how quickly this technology is evolving.
It is.
But with all this power comes a big question. How do we make sure these tools are used responsibly? I mean, if AI can generate super realistic videos, how do we prevent misuse?
That's a huge question and one that the whole industry is grappling with. Transparency and accountability are absolutely crucial.
Absolutely. And it's not just about video generation. It's about all aspects of AI, especially as it becomes more sophisticated and capable of making more complex decisions.
Right, especially when you consider those advancements in AI reasoning.
Like what DeepSeek is doing with their R1 model and meta chain of thought.
Exactly.
It's amazing how they've been able to teach AI to break down problems step by step.
Almost like a human would.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's already leading to some groundbreaking results in fields like coding, math, even scientific research.
So we're talking about AI that can actually explain its thought process, not just spit out an answer.
Exactly. That's huge for transparency and understanding how these systems work.
Especially as they become more integrated into our lives.
So we've got AI that can rival the big players at a fraction of the cost. Meta building this AI powerhouse. Video generation getting more and more realistic. AI's reasoning capabilities evolving at an insane pace. It's a lot to take in.
It is.
What are your initial thoughts on all of this?
Well, it's definitely exciting.
Yeah.
But it also raises a lot of important questions about how we manage this technology responsibly.
Absolutely. We're creating these incredibly powerful tools. But it's up to us to make sure they're used for good.
And to make sure we understand the implications of what we're building.
Exactly. It's a conversation we all need to be part of. So as you're listening to this, take a moment to reflect on your own comfort level with AI. Where do you see the potential benefits? What concerns you? These are important questions to consider because,
Because the future of AI isn't some predetermined path. It's being shaped by the choices we make right now.
so let's make those choices wisely. We'll be back in a moment to continue our deep dive and explore some of these questions in more depth.
Yeah, it really is a balancing act, isn't it? We're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. But we also have to be incredibly careful about how we wield that power.
Absolutely. And one of the key things is transparency. We need to understand how these AI algorithms are making decisions. It's not enough to just see the output. We need to know the why behind it.
Right. It's like needing that audit trail you were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
so we can trace back the reasoning and make sure there aren't any hidden biases or errors creeping in.
Exactly. And diversity is also key,
Yeah.
both in the data that's used to train these models and in the teams that are developing them.
A diverse team will bring so many more perspectives to the table, which is essential for making sure these AI systems are designed with everyone in mind.
And there's this whole field dedicated to what's called explainable AI, which is all about making sure AI isn't just this black box,
Yeah.
but can actually explain its thought process in a way that humans can understand.
That's so important, especially in fields like healthcare or criminal justice,
Yeah.
where AI is starting to play a bigger role.
Exactly. Imagine an AI recommending a particular medical treatment or influencing a judge's decision. We absolutely need to understand the logic behind those recommendations to ensure fairness and accountability.
It all comes down to trust, right?
Yeah, if we can't trust the decisions being made by these AI systems, then the whole thing falls apart.
So building that trust means transparency, explainability, and a commitment to ethical considerations throughout the whole development process.
And it's not just the responsibility of developers and researchers. It's a conversation that society as a whole needs to be having.
Absolutely. We all need to be thinking about what role we want AI to play in our lives, what our boundaries are, and how we can make sure it's used for good.
So as you're listening to this, we really encourage you to think about your own comfort level with AI. Where do you see the potential benefits? What concerns you the most?
These are such important questions to grapple with. And remember, the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's being shaped by the choices we're making right now.
Now, let's circle back to something we touched on earlier. DeepSeek's approach to AI reasoning with their R1 model and meta chain of thought.
Yeah, that metacot thing is pretty fascinating. It's like we're teaching AI to think critically, not just process information.
And that ability to reason through complex problems has already led to some amazing results in fields like coding, math, and scientific discovery.
It's crazy to think that AI could one day be writing software, proving theorems, or even conducting experiments.
And it's not just about those fields. Imagine the potential in healthcare, where AI could analyze a patient's medical history, consider different treatment options, and recommend the most effective course of action, all while explaining its reasoning to the doctor and patient.
Wow, that would be incredible. It would be like having this super intelligent consultant by your side.
And that kind of AI assistance could extend to so many other fields: finance, law, education, engineering, you name it.
The possibilities are endless.
It's both exciting and a little daunting to think about how much AI could change our world in the years to come.
Change is definitely coming. But it's up to us to make sure that change is guided by ethical principles and ultimately benefits humanity.
Which brings us back to those conversations we were talking about. We can't just sit back and watch this happen. We need to be actively involved in shaping the future of AI.
We need to educate ourselves, engage in discussions about the implications, and advocate for responsible development.
So we challenge you to take that first step. Dive into the world of AI, explore its potential, and don't be afraid to ask those tough questions. Because the future of AI isn't predetermined, it's being written right now. And we all have a role to play in that story.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you said earlier, knowledge is power. The more we understand about AI, the better we can navigate this whole thing and make sure it's used to benefit everyone.
I love that. Knowledge is power. And it all starts with curiosity, doesn't it? That drive to explore and learn and question.
Yeah, for sure.
So keep diving into the world of AI. Keep asking those tough questions. Keep the conversation going. Because the future of AI, it isn't some fixed destination. It's a journey we're all on together.
We're all in this together, figuring it out as we go.
And the choices we make today, they're the ones that are going to shape the world of tomorrow.
So let's make those choices count.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI. It's been an amazing conversation.
It really has.
And remember, if you want to stay up to date on all things AI, make sure to follow @AI for the People. They've got your daily dose of AI news and insights. Until next time, stay curious out there.